Bulldog TV welcomes you to the following presentation of the 2024 winter sports season at Centennial High School.
I'm Ariana Martinez, and I'm here with Coach Sis, and we're commentating on the wrestling tonight.
Yeah, Ari, we got our first home duel tonight against Mesa Ridge. They're currently ranked 12th in the state right now, so they kind of base that on the amount of returning state placers. And tonight they're going to have 2 or 3 guys actually on the mat. Wrestling tonight, so that's going to be pretty fun.
That'll
to watch.
be good matches.
Now, you wrestled tonight yourself, correct?
Yes.
And so you're wrestling for the Central Girls team.
Correct.
So that's pretty cool. So how did that go tonight?
It went good. Our girls were wrestling Lamar tonight, and all of our girls wrestled really tough, and it's nice to get back on the mat.
Now, I understand you wrestled at East High School tonight.
Correct.
And why is that?
Since we're a Pueblo's team, we're starting to wrestle at every school so that everybody gets to see us wrestle.
So you'll get a chance to wrestle here at Centennial,
Yes.
and you'll go to well, you asked, it was East tonight, so
East.
I guess it's South.
South and Central.
Then Central and so
Yep.
forth. So that'll be cool. I think that's really good for the girls' wrestling teams because they're going to get the exposure, like you said. So that's going to be a good thing for girls' wrestling, which it's really growing fast.
Yes.
I understand there's going to be a second division this year in wrestling.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a higher division and a lower division.
Correct.
At the state tournament, correct?
Yeah, and our girls Pueblo team is actually ranked #1 in our 3A division, I think.
Oh.
I think we're 3A.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
it's 3A and 4A, and we're ranked #1 right now in
Oh
our
wow,
division.
that's a lot of pressure
Yeah.
going into the season. That's
Yes.
pretty cool. Looks like they're getting ready to do their huddle and they're breaking. Is that the Bulldogs we got in front of us there?
Yes.
Okay, so we're kind of disconnected to this year. Unlike 2 years ago, we were actually in the old gym up on the top in the crawl space. We are in the I guess you would call it the broadcast
room?
Yeah. So we're not actually in the gym, but we will be viewing it, like watching it on TV, and calling it from a remote area. But it should be probably just as fun. I think,
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to be right in the room and kind of feel that energy. But I think we'll be able to pick that up because there'll be some good matches tonight.
Yes.
One thing that I noticed, because I talked to both coaches last night, and I think it'd be a good idea to kind of introduce those guys. Coach Ponce is now in his second year.
Yep.
He's replacing Coach Aragon, Dino Aragon, who had been with the program for 6 or 7 years. One of my state champions, I might add. And he's no longer the head coach, so Coach Ponce is taking it over. His assistants is actually one of your dad, Ryan Martinez, and Edward Armijo. So those 2 guys are his assistants. So he's in his second year and kind of still a little wet behind the ears, still learning some wrestling. Unlike Coach Melendez, I shouldn't say unlike him, Coach Melendez is in his first year as the head coach at Mesa Ridge. Now, he was your coach as well, correct?
Yep, correct.
Can you give me a little idea what, he was your coach, he was your girls wrestling coach.
Yep. He coached us for 2 years. And then he decided to take up this Mesa Ridge job as the head coach for the boys.
Yeah. And we have a JV match. So this match, they're heavyweights, so this could go real fast. And right after they get out of this particular match, they'll go right into the varsity match tonight. But we were talking about Coach Melendez. He actually wrestled. He was recruited by Coach Charles, Dax Charles, at the college, and wrestled at the college. There's a nice little takedown there by by the Mesa Ridge heavyweight. And we didn't get names for these young fellas on this JV match, so we're just going to kind of do some more information about the programs and what they're doing. Of course, this is their first duel tonight, and we're only going to have 9 matches. So because of that, there's probably a reason for that. Even though Mesa Ridge has 50 kids out and Centennial has 29 kids, we still are only going to have 9 out of 14 matches. And one of the reasons for that, Ari, is because the kids got to make weight. They got to declare their weight. And if they're not, they got to be certified. And if they don't get certified and meet their target weights, then they can't wrestle. Okay. So even though we have kids, 50 kids and 29 kids, it just doesn't always work out, especially early in the year like tonight. So you're going to see that probably across the state. Maybe not so much with those like top-ranked teams because, they kind of probably are a little more seasoned and, have kids that have been wrestling and they're probably not going to have this. Here we go. We got the Centennial JV wrestler, and there you go. It's just a quick pin like that. And that's usually how it goes with heavyweights. If you roll them over to their side, I hate to say it, they're kind of toast. So, that's the hardest thing to teach a heavyweight is not to get on your side, not to get rolled over, because usually it's a pin. Looks like they're going to be doing like the pledge, and they'll be doing the introduction of wrestlers. So we'll probably be fading out a little bit while they do that, and then we're going to get started tonight with the 150-pound match, and we're going to go pretty fast. Last year we did a Mitchell match, took 30 minutes. We might beat that record tonight.
This first match is going to be a great match, too.
Oh, good.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll, and after they go through the lineups, but yeah, we will be starting at 150, and that might be another question. Why? Do you know the reason why?
Yeah. Or you go ahead and explain it.
Well, no, I mean, it's usually in the old days, when I've been around one of the old days, because I coached 36 years at Pueblo South and actually wrestled here at Centennial. This is my alma mater. And what happened was we used to start at the lower weight, 106, and just wrestle the heavyweight. Then sometime along through the years, they go, well, let's switch it up, And so they started drawing, and then wherever they drew, then the last match would be. And tonight's last match is going to be probably the humdinger of the night. We got two state quality wrestlers. Yeah, well, they're state placers, and one's been in the finals and taken second, fourth, and third, and the other one's taken third, fifth, and third. So we're going to have a great match tonight between Jason Soto and Damian Reyes. So I think they wanted to make that the highlight of the match. I don't know if they actually drew it that way, but that's kind of how it turned out.
Yeah.
We'll start at 150. All right, to start early. We're going to start with the first weights. Just saying that the first match is going to start with 150s. All right, here we go. 106. For Centennial, Eddie Velasquez will receive a forfeit. At 113, for the Centennial Bulldogs, Cruz Trujillo, and he will receive a forfeit. Okay, we have Bobby Lujan for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies. All right, at 120 for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Jordan Gray. For your Bulldogs, Elijah Roki. All right, our track wrestling's a little bit off. We're going to get it fixed. So now at 120s for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Ty Trevino will receive a forfeit. All right, 126 for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Johnny Rowan. And for the Bulldogs, Elijah Roki. All right, and 132s for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Alex Garcia. No, Anthony Ronadu, and for the Bulldogs, Alex Garcia. At 138 for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Dante Roman. For the Bulldogs, Eddie Horstman. 144 for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Damian Reyes. And for the Centennial Bulldogs, Jason Soto. 150s for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Quentin Cross. For the Bulldogs, Jack Hillwood. At 157 for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Daniel Riviera. For the Bulldogs, a forfeit. 165 for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Lachlan Lemley. And for the Bulldogs, a forfeit. 175s for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Holden Gilstrap. And for the Bulldogs, Logan Benedetto. At both 190 and 215, we have double forfeits.
No, we don't. Salvador Mendoza and Nathan Cole.
At 190, the Bulldogs do have someone, Salvador Mendoza. And at 215, Xavier Otero. And finally, at 285, for the Mesa Ridge Grizzlies, Elias Timms. And for the Bulldogs, Ezra Mestis.
Okay, Ari, it looks, the lineup the coaches gave me and what Mr. Ward, our activities director, gave us, we may be slightly off, but he'll be calling their names before they go out. So we'll double check to make sure we have the right guys. Now they're coming out to the center of the mat, and tonight, since they have 9 4-foot, I mean, there's like only 9 matches. Sometimes the coin flip is kind of a big thing because you get to put your kid out first on the mat. So even though they're going to go through this formality tonight, their captains will come out. They're going to flip a coin, and either Centennial will take even or odd. And by doing that, that means that they'll put their guy on first, and then the other team will put their guy on the next match first, and vice versa. So in a big match where all 14 matches are being wrestled, and even in a match even like tonight, a coach will go through there and maybe even make the coin flip an important thing for the event or for the night. So like I said, we'll not going to time ourselves, but with forfeits and double forfeits and first-year wrestlers, we may only see 1 or 2 matches that go the distance. Most of these matches tonight, I think, are going to get done within the first couple of periods, and I hope I'm wrong because, but depending on the matchups, it's going to be a little bit. Now tonight, if they go on course and they call Jack Hillwig and Quentin Cross, then we're going to have our first match at 150s.
Okay. I'm excited. This is going to be some good matches, hopefully.
Yep, we have both teams. This first duel. It's good to get these little kind of bugs, I guess, like the excitement out of the way to get the season started. Because tomorrow night they're traveling to Florence, correct?
Correct, yes.
And then the season starts, and that gives them 1 practice on Friday, and then they're probably going to either be traveling. It looks like they're wrestling in Florence or Fort Lupton.
Fort Lupton on Saturday.
Yeah,
correct.
now that's kind of a change. I know that Coach Adamson and Coach Aragon used to take their team usually down to Rocky Ford to the Rocky Ford duels. So Coach Soto might have already made a little change, kind of making this how he wants to see his team grow, how to get better. So he probably has a reason, probably being that they're in 3A. He may want to go to Fort Lupton and see more 3A schools.
Yeah.
Or in 2A, Rocky Ford would be, I think, in 2A. He may be seeing a lot of 2A schools, teams he's not going to be able to really help him towards regional state.
Yeah.
Another thing that I found out, if it's true and you can help me with this, Centennial's also hosting a regional. Is that correct?
That's correct,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so the boys, Mr. Ward, who is our activities director here at Pueblo Centennial, he's going to be hosting the regional, which I think they're excited to show off the new building.
Yeah, that is exciting. That'll be awesome
Now,
to have a regional.
what they christened the gym, what do they name the gym? What's the name of the gym now? Is it after
Frank G. Latino.
Yeah, Coach Mr. Latino. Mr. Latino was a teacher when I was here, and he was actually our student council representative teacher, and then he ended up being a long-time principal here. And on this new gym, they went ahead and named it after him, which is a big honor and well deserved, because Mr. Latino did a lot of things for Centennial and for the school of Centennial. So I'm real happy for that family and for Mr. Latino. He did pass away a few years ago, and I was able to attend his services and be a part of that, because he was a very respected and well-liked man. Now I can see at the score table, actually, Coach Adamson, who was the head coach here, and Coach Adamson and he was actually my assistant at South when we first started. So I was the head coach, and Coach Adamson was my assistant. And 2 or 3 years into our coaching together, the Centennial job opened up, and he recently retired, I think in 2019, or in right around that time, and he spent like 28, 29 years with the Centennial program. So even though we wrestled together and worked together as coaches, we were also rivals, which was kind of a fun thing because I don't know how many Wednesdays we spent talking about our teams, knowing that we were going to wrestle the next night.
That's funny.
You know, getting a feel for like, you know, you don't want to tip your hand, but you want to at the same time feel like you got, you know, you're going into the fight ready to go the next night. And other than that one night of the year, the rest of the time we were rooting for each other's teams and you know, getting our teams ready for the state tournament and so forth. And not only that, but Coach Adamson and I play golf every Wednesday together for the last 25, 26 years. So we're long-time friends from high school and into our coaching careers, and even now as old guys. You know, you can see he's still helping, doing the scoring, and I'm trying to come up here and help out with the play-by-play. I failed to ask who our official is tonight. I wish I would have done that. I can't remember his name, but I wish I could. And maybe before the evening's out, we can get somebody to give us the official's name and kind of give him a little shout out. This is also their first night on the mat, and they'll probably be doing tournaments over the weekend. So they're going through the same things as the wrestlers and the coaches, and getting ready for this first night.
Yep, everybody's just getting started.
Okay, they didn't introduce him, but if this is correct, that should be Jack Kilwig. He's a senior for the Bulldogs, and he's wearing obviously the red singlet with the Mesa Ridge wrestler. He's a junior, Quentin Cross. So we'll find out tonight whether we can see some good, solid wrestling. We got some upperclassmen, juniors and seniors, and you can kind of see Jack kind of wrestling the line right now, which is you kind of want him to get back in the center. That way if you take a shot, you can actually finish your shot inside the circle. So they're kind of wrestling at the line, little kind of punching the head down. You can see the Mesa Ridge kids circling around, getting that leg into possibly a takedown. He hasn't quite, there he is. He just gave him a takedown. So you can kind of see, Ari, that they're going into that little scramble, trying to get that first point, and now obviously the Mesa Ridge wrestler wants to break him out, like doing what he's doing right now, flatten him out, trying to get him where he can get him to turn over and get some near fall points. And obviously Jack wants to work to his base like he did right there and stand up. That's a good move. Great job.
And I learned, now this year we have new point system, correct?
Yeah, you know what? I'm just finding that out. I think there's going to give you more points for takedowns.
Correct.
And like up to 4 points.
A takedown is 3 points now, and then you could get up to near fall 3.
Wow, so you can score 6 points right off the bat. Wow.
Yeah.
That is going to be a game changer, because with the tech fall, and the score should be on the scoreboard, it should be 2-1 right now, Mesa Ridge.
3-1. 3-1.
Oh, they have it up on the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I didn't quite see it. And that goes with that takedown again, being 3 points.
Yep.
And so here we go again. There's another takedown. Wow. Like I said, with the tech fall.
Matches are going to go by so fast now.
Yeah, and look at that, 2 minutes went like fast.
Yep.
So in that 2 minutes, the Mesa Ridge, Quentin was able to score 6 points with 2 takedowns. And Jack was only able to get 1 point for the escape. Looks like they gave choice to Mesa Ridge. Mesa Ridge took bottom, and now obviously Quentin's going to want to get that quick escape, get back on his feet. Boy, he did a nice reversal, back on his feet for 1. So now that scores 7-1. And if he gets another takedown, wow.
Yeah.
It could be 10-1 and working towards that tech fall. Now, Ari, what do you know about a tech fall? How many points you got to score?
Tech fall, you have to be up by 15.
15 points, that's correct. And that's a nice thing with Ari doing some wrestling. She's going to be able to share some of the things that she knows. And between the two of us, maybe we can kind of keep our audience up to snuff on how the scoring goes and how each wrestler gets their points. Oh, nice shucked him down to the mat. He likes to get that little bit of a front headlock there. He's working his arms underneath on a kind of an over-under. And he's trying to work him to his back. That's kind of a hard position there because both guys can get in trouble. But boy, there he did. Man, right to his back. And if you don't watch it, we can get it for their first pin for Mesa Ridge. And right now, oh, there it is. Wow. That was a good win right there because Quentin's only a junior and Jack's a senior. And, you know, like I said, some of these matches probably won't make it to that third period. And there's a good point right there where they'd finish early in the second period. So Mesa Ridge comes out with a big win with the 6 points. And with switching off with all these forfeits, how many points you get for a forfeit?
You get 6 points.
Yeah, just like a pin. Yeah. So when you know, it's good to have your own, somebody on the mat.
Yep.
Like tonight, and that's going to happen. Tonight at 157s, they have a double forfeit, so no match at 157s. So we're moving right into the 65-pound match. And we do not have a match here either because Centennial doesn't have a wrestler. So Lachlan Lemmy from Mesa Ridge should be getting a forfeit, and that's him out there. What they'll do is they'll raise his hand, and then he'll go to the table and let them know and that he got the forfeit, and they'll put that up on the scoreboard.
Okay.
So right now, Mesa Ridge got the pin at 150s, and I don't know why they have, they put the 6 points already up because Lachlan at 165 doesn't have a match.
Okay.
So now that gives them, Mesa Ridge is now up to 12 points in this very early part of the match. We will have a match at 175s, and that's going to be Logan Benedetto, and he's only a sophomore.
Yep. And
Holden Gilstrap, he's a senior and boy, they didn't mess around. It looks like this is
replays.
Yeah, some replays got him going here. That's just coming off the last match. And that's kind of cool where you can kind of fill some time with some of the things that we had a chance to already see, but that's how that first match finished off with a nice pin. So we're heading into 175. It looks like Logan was a letterman as a freshman last year, and he wrestled some varsity, I guess. So he's up there at the 175-pound. Holden was a state qualifier last year at 165. So Mesa Ridge has another pretty solid kid at 175s, and it looks like this could be another good match. They both have varsity experience. So you're going to see probably this match could go all the way, although the big guys have a tendency to pin. Oh, nice little drop to an inside single. And, nice little breakdown again. So Holden is kind of controlling this match, although Logan's doing a good job of kind of working to his feet. But, boy, the Mesa Ridge kid is putting both legs in. They call it putting the, digging the boots in, there, and kind of getting after him, putting a deep half, rolling him through. But, hey, Logan did a good job of rolling through. If he can get back to his base and get out of trouble, he's going to be okay. So that 3 points up in the corner of the screen, that's that first takedown.
It's so crazy how it's already 3 points.
For sure. So you can see Holden really pressuring the head, trying to work that half underneath. He's put both legs in. He's pressuring the head. Coach is trying to tell him to slip that arm through, see if he can get himself going. And it's just a good match as far as dominating from top by the Mesa Ridge wrestler. So the object here, obviously, Ari, is, the top guy wants to really work. He's got a great breakdown where he's flattening Logan out, and then he wants to go in and pressure that shoulder and that head and see if he can get back points. So the type of style that the Mesa Ridge wrestler is doing is using those legs to kind of keep those hips buried, and then he's going after the power half. So it looks like Centennial had choice, and he took neutral.
Yep.
So they're starting out. They both got to have their foot on the line. You'll see the Centennial put his foot on that red line, and then you'll see Mesa Ridge put his foot on that other green, dark green line, and they have to be touching that line to start.
Okay.
Oh, nice level change into a deep double. He's kind of got his head in the middle of the leg, so this is kind of a scramble situation. You see the Centennial wrestler reaching for that ankle. That kind of takes the leverage out of that double. And they're both kind of back on their feet. And he's out. Now the Bulldog wrestler, Logan, is stuffing the head, and he's kind of crowding him. What he wants to do is stuff that head and then spin hard. Spin hard around the back and get his 3 points. Go. You can kind of see Holden keeping that arm. Now he's switching off to a double. Oh, that was a nice finish by the Mesa Ridge wrestler. He kind of came back in double. You could see him working right away into the legs. They haven't given the Mesa Ridge wrestler his takedown yet, but it probably should be 6-0. And there's that power half with that leg. Oh boy, he just exposed his back. And oh man, another match that didn't make it through the second period. We kind of knew that. We kind of knew going into this match.
Yeah.
And the sad thing about it, Sal Mendoza, who was a state qualifier as a sophomore at wrestling at 190s, I thought he had a match.
He's a senior.
And he's a senior, yeah.
Yep.
And they're coming back with some
replays.
Oh, that's a nice little drop off to the inside. That's that first takedown. And then he goes and throws those legs in, and boy, he just punishes him. And then he keeps working off that. He didn't quite, Centennial wrestler couldn't quite clear that arm. And there's a nice over, inside.
Yep.
Trying to get that leverage. There's no exchange, no points here. But you're going to see the Mesa Ridge wrestler not stop here. He kind of grabs the leg, gets back to his base, and boom, there he goes. Nice. Kind of dumps him off to the side and gets his 3 points. Then gets back into his strength, putting his legs in, power half it, and then going off and finishing for a pin. Real nice little chain of events there, and that's called chain wrestling. So he did a real good job of doing what he does well.
And as a senior, he probably has a lot more of experience than the sophomore, Logan.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You could definitely see that.
That's a great point. You're right. And even though Logan wrestled last year on varsity, that's still 2 more years experience in him. So that's a good point. And it looks like is that Sal? No.
That's Ezra.
Ezra.
Yep.
So they went ahead and they had again 2 double forfeits. Again, no match at 190, no match at 215, and now they have this is the heavyweight match, correct?
Correct. Yep. 285s.
Now Ezra is a second year on varsity, so he has some varsity experience.
Yep.
And he didn't qualify last year at state, though, right?
No.
Now this young man, Elias Timms, he is a senior, and he was a state qualifier as a sophomore. So last year as a junior, he did not qualify. So I'm sure he's pretty hungry to get back to the state tournament, being that he qualified as a sophomore. So you're going to see a good match here with both guys with varsity experience. And this is kind of a different style compared to you little guys.
Yeah.
You wrestle, what, 100?
100s, yeah.
So you're giving up about 185 pounds. I don't think you want to be wrestling with these 2 hombres.
No.
But even at that, your style would be different. And that was a nice little outside single, but he hasn't finished it. But he's wrestling like a little guy. And nice sprawl by Ezra. And they're wrestling at the line. He's power. He kind of lost it. He tried to muscle a little bit there, slipped it, and like you say, Elias has some state experience and some varsity experience, and just kind of countered real nice.
Yep.
By coming around and beating him to the punch. So they're wrestling right at the line. The official is letting them wrestle because one foot is still in. As soon as that left foot goes outside, they're going to start it and call it in. But right now he's letting them wrestle because that left foot, see as it's sneaking off, as he sneaks off, he's probably going to break him. Right now he's still letting them wrestle because now the shoulder's in. So long as one part of the body is in, they're going to let them wrestle right there at that line, okay? And that's something good for you to know, too, because knowing that strategy helps a lot.
Yeah.
So with that little exchange, Mesa Ridge ended up taking the lead here, 3-0, and Mesa Ridge had choice and took bottom. And this is pretty different for a heavyweight to take bottom. But you can see how he gets out real easy and he feels pretty confident. But most of the time you want to put your heavyweight on top so you could do what happened in the first JV match, bump him to that hip and then go after him, because most heavyweights have a rough time wrestling off their hip. But not this young man from Mesa Ridge. Elias Timms took bottom, real comfortable there, got the 1 point, and now leading 4-0. We'll see if this one can make it the whole 6 minutes. I don't know. We're going to have to take some bets here, I think, to see which wrestler, two wrestlers, are going to actually wrestle 6 minutes. Heavyweight, oh, nice. Nice outside single, nice level change. Boy, for a heavyweight, he moves like a cat.
Yeah, he's fast.
He's fast. Yeah, he does a very good job as a heavyweight. Now, but you know, Ezra's doing a good job of countering, a good job of sprawling. You know, they're going to a tie-up. A lot of times heavyweights like to tie up. They like to slip the heads, you know, slip that arm across. Kind of what you're seeing Elias do from Mesa Ridge. He'll kind of start up on the top and then he'll level change, you know what I'm saying? And so he kind of works like on the top, kind of taking his mind off of that he's wrestling kind of a slow match, and then all of a sudden you'll see him level. Okay, they're in a bear hug piss situation, over under. Oh, you see that Elias trying to throw him.
Yep.
But
the leverage, he got leverage.
The Mesa Ridge wrestler did a good job with the bear hug.
Yeah.
Just kept it all the way to the mat. Well, we have yet to have a match go all the way. Another pin by Mesa Ridge. And you're seeing that between the pins and the forfeits, the match is going fast.
And here's our replays again.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh man, really nice. Off the head, down to that outside single. Man, that's a good looking change. So you can see the Mesa Ridge kids have a little style. They're pretty aggressive.
Yep.
Not that the Bulldogs aren't doing a good job. They're also doing some good job of countering. Like I said, tonight's the first night. You kind of want to get. You probably felt a little rusty yourself.
Yeah,
even
definitely.
Though there, you know, what happened there is Ezra just didn't get his hips out.
Yep.
He tried to pull, but he ended up pulling them on himself. Yep. And what you got to do is kind of lift and then throw those hips off to the side. That way you can throw the Mesa Ridge kid out. Now, there was no match at 106s. I think this is Cruz Trujillo.
Yes.
And he's wrestling a freshman. Now, Cruz, when I started doing this play-by-play, Cruz was only a freshman. Yeah. So he's now on his 3rd year as varsity. Oh, nice shot. Very nice. And one thing that you'll notice on Cruz is he's a little speedster, and he's got good strength.
Yeah.
And that first year, he was just beating himself. Now, last year, I think he kind of got quite a few wins, probably more wins than losses. But sitting out last year kind of set me behind on these kids because they had a good senior class graduate last year. Your brother was one of them.
Correct, yep.
And there was a couple other.
Manny, Hatterhead, and a few more,
Anaya and some of those guys. So they graduated some pretty good seniors.
Yeah.
And I know that Coach Ponce kind of inherited a pretty good team. You can see that Cruz is working that wrist in half. He's kind of working the leg. The kid's working up to a stand-up. Cruz got the first takedown 3-0, and he gave, the official gave the Mesa Ridge kid a escape. Now, why do you think Coach Ponce is asking him about that? Because he kind of felt that they were both outside. So.
Yeah.
And that's why. But, you know, that's the official's call, and that's one thing. It's a judgment. Now, he gave Cruz a caution because he went before the whistle. So he kind of went, and that's a good job. You teach the wrestler to anticipate the whistle.
Yeah.
And that gives him that little lead to get in on that heel pick or that single.
Yep.
Nice throw by. Boy, I like that. The only thing Cruz is not quite doing is he's not keeping that head and snapping it down to the mat. He's kind of getting it, and as he's throwing it by, he's throwing the wrestler by. So he wants to kind of snap him down and throw him down and get behind him. But man, he's off that tie-up, he's doing a great job. There's different styles of wrestling, and Cruz is kind of giving us both looks. He's giving us a tie-up look, then he goes, he gets out of the tie-up, and then he takes a nice shot. But boy, he kind of likes that heel pick.
Yeah. He's fast at that.
So it's 3-1. Mesa Ridge has choice. So they're giving Mesa Ridge a choice. They put Mesa Ridge on bottom because he got out.
Yeah.
You know, from the takedown. So this coach is thinking, okay, let's do that again.
Yeah.
Now Cruz has to do a good job of breaking him down and working towards a pin. So he started on the weak side, ended up going to the strong side. He's got his shoulders buried. He's covering his hips. So Cruz is doing a good job of basic wrestling right now. And that's what you want. You want him to pinch those knees and keep him from getting up. Now Cruz could do a better job of that. He's kind of got him just there, but if he's putting pressure on those knees, then that keeps that wrestler from building his base. So the Mesa Ridge is building his base, but he has his head down. Nice, he runs that half. Oh, beautiful. Looks like we might get another match. It's going to finish in the second period. Let's see if Cruz can put him away. He's got that deep half. He's got to get his shoulder back, his chest back to go chest on chest. And right now he's got his hips a little too high, allowing that Mesa Ridge wrestler to get back to his feet. Now he's got it. He went and reached for that forearm. He's got to get back chest to chest and then just pressure down. And looks like he's using his chin. Oh, that. And that's just early right now. But boy, he went right back to it. There's Cruz again, trying to finish it. He's got to drop his hips, and there's the pin. Beautiful. Okay, we were due for one of those.
That was a good match.
Okay, because Mesa Ridge has been rocking with some pins, getting some forefoots. This is going to go ahead and kind of tighten the match up just a little bit. I think 24-30, I think it'll be the score. Now we're going to end up giving Mesa Ridge another, oh, there. Nice. These are some of the replays again, right, Ari?
Yep, correct. It seems like Cruz was able to dominate
look at
this
that
match.
Look at that right there. See how they're both out? Then he gave. That's why Coach Ponce came in. Like, hey, you gave him the point. They were both out. There's that little throw by. He didn't quite follow it. There's Cruz doing a handstand. That's just so hard. How darn strong he is. There's that beautiful deep half. He kind of lets it slip a little bit on him, but then he just comes right back and gets it and just finishes for the pin. So real nice first night for Cruz. You know, to get that first W under your belt, get it with a pin. It goes. His confidence is going to go big for tomorrow night. Sure. And, you know, we need guys like Cruz to come and go to Fort Lupton and be a placer.
Yep.
And start building around guys like Soto, who's been a 3-time state placer.
Yep.
Now this match was moved. They went ahead and gave both forfeits to Mesa Ridge. It's 36-24. So there was no match at 120s. This is now Elijah Roki moved up to 126s, and he's wrestling Johnny Rome. They're both juniors, but Elijah's he wrestled since he was a freshman.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah, so he was like the same year as Cruz. They both been wrestling on varsity.
Yep.
He's actually pretty seasoned. I'm a little surprised that he came out and gave up the first takedown, because Elijah's, what if I remember, he's kind of a slow starter.
Yeah.
He comes out, he gives up some early points, but boy, he'll wrestle. This could be our first 6-minute match, because both of these kids are juniors and both of them have some varsity experience. So this could be one of those matches that goes the distance, where we might end up with a decision. But Mesa Ridge has the early lead, and here comes Elijah. So he's got that 1 point, and we need Elijah to go out and get us a takedown,
Get us
right?
a takedown, yes.
Okay, he's sprawling. Nice sprawl. He's looking that over-under. You got to watch it. He's not wrestling too smart here, because he's fallen to his hip. And I think that they've awarded the takedown. Elijah's wrestling a little sloppy right now. I know he's a lot better wrestler than this. So I think what we'll see is, like I said, I remember him being kind of a slow starter. So it should be 6-1, which it is. So if Elijah can get this takedown, and then we can't really see the time. That's the only thing by being in the room versus being in the gym. We really can't see the clock and how it plays into effect in the match.
Yeah.
That's something that we may need to visit with Mr. Lewis about, to see if we can get some kind of a clock because it makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah.
If we know there's only 10 or 15 seconds in a match. They gave Mesa Ridge choice. Mesa Ridge took bottom. Elijah is now losing 6-1. And, if he gives Johnny Roan, the Mesa Ridge wrestler, another point, he's going to make it kind of hard for him to come back and score all those points.
And it's so crazy how the 3 points changes everything.
It really does. It really does, because you're going to have to make it up, you're going to have to get more back points.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have to be really good on your feet and just rack up the points. And, if I'm given 1 point for every 3, heck,
Yeah.
I'll let them up and take them down all day if I can do that,
Yeah.
Oh boy, so Roki gave that, he kind of rolled away in that, gave up the back points. So he gave up an escape, he gave up another takedown. Technically, he's losing 10-2, and now he's giving up back points. So this may not be a pin, but it looks like it might be the way that Roki, little surprise. I really thought, and I don't know if it's because he bumped up a weight.
Yeah.
And sometimes the coaches will do that just to give, Elijah an opportunity to wrestle tonight. So Elijah can't take this as a negative. He's, he got a chance to wrestle. It's better than practice. This is all this is practice tonight. And even though we have one big humdinger of a match at 144s with 2 state quality wrestlers, one in 4A ranked second in 4A, and the other one ranked second in 3A. It's just practice.
Yep.
So win or lose tonight, you just want to have a good match like that. Now I'm not sure if we are already at 132s. Is that Alex Garcia?
Yep.
Looks like Alex went out and got the first takedown. I don't know if we were yakking and missed the takedown, but looks like he got the first takedown. He's wrestling Anthony Rubedo. He's a freshman. So, this gives Alex, who's a senior, real seasoned wrestler, a chance to maybe go out and get a pin for the team.
And he gave him 1 point for locking hands, correct?
Looks like he did penalize Alex for that. So when they do lock hands, and if he did give him a penalty, you can see that he restarted him again. I haven't seen the penalty point go up, but Alex is doing a good job of keeping him flat and working towards that pin. He's a two-time regional placer, actually, Alex, so he's got a little moxie. He just hasn't, you know, placed high enough to qualify for state.
Yeah.
But, you know, being a regional placer is still a great accomplishment for a wrestler in his career. Now you see that penalty point go up, so you're right, it was a locking hands, and the official went and started the match again. They're off the mat. They're going to come back in. I think Alex will end up having a strong finish here. You know, he is the more seasoned wrestler. Anthony's a freshman. He's probably has some middle school or junior high experience. He looks like he's a pretty strong kid, but Alex is doing a good job with that little ankle pick and kind of moving it forward. He's got it flat, reaching for that wrist. Now, if he could either roll the wrist through or throw a deep half, there it goes. There he goes. Run it. Run it.
There you go.
There you go. Settle those hips in. There you go, boy. Are we going to get a match that goes the distance?
We haven't
what
yet
the
to
heck,
see
man? Okay, well, we're running out of opportunities here. So Alex did what we thought. He's cut the gap down. 24, I don't know how it ended up being 43. It was 24-42. So, can Centennial win this? If they got 2 pins, it would be 46 points.
Yep.
To the 43, so they have to get 2 pins.
2
to
pins.
Win. Oh my gosh! Here you go again for that deep half to a pin, and beautiful job. So the last 2 outings for the Bulldogs have gone out and got some pins. Now we're wrestling the. It's okay. It's 30-42. So they got to get 2 pins to tie.
Yep.
And so that means we're already down. Dante Roan, who's a 2-time state qualifier. It's going to be tough. This kid's a senior, and he's wrestling Ari. Is that right?
Yeah.
And Ari's a first-year wrestler. It's kind of like the same thing that happened in the last match. We have a senior versus a first-year wrestler. And Dante's got 58 varsity wins. So he's wrestling a really salty kid.
Yep.
And he's already went out, got the first takedown. He's kind of pressuring Ari, who happens to have the same name. What the heck here,
That's crazy, huh?
That's all right. That's all right.
It's a great name.
Yeah, you got to share it. You know, you got a good name. You got to share it. You can't be keeping it all to yourself. Oh, that could be stuffed the head right. Oh, my gosh. Boy.
Oh, poor Ari.
Wow. Wow. Okay, well, what the people paid for admission, I think we're going to find out in this next match. Jason Soto is a 3-time state qualifier. He took 3rd at 126. He took 5th at 132. And he took 3rd at 138. So he's ranked 2nd behind Nick Darndes from Brush. And Jason has 100 wins. That's pretty darn impressive. There's a very few wrestlers in Pueblo that have 100 wins.
Yeah.
And he's now in that elite group. He's wrestling Damien Reyes, who's a senior. So these are both seniors. Damon's a 3-time state placer. He took 2nd, 4th, and 3rd. He's currently ranked 2nd at 144s in 4A. So this is exactly what we want to see. We want to see the 2 best kids in the state. Yep. And Damien is behind the Crystal Lalonde from Roosevelt. So he's got a couple. They got a couple of kids that are ranked ahead of him. But man, you know, they're projected to be in the state finals. So you're watching kind of what we would call an all-state duel match.
Yep.
Where you see possible 2 state champs wrestling each other. So this is going to be pretty cool.
This will be our distance match.
Yeah, I hope so.
I was talking to Jason this morning about this match, and he was like, yeah, we usually go back and forth. It's usually only a win by a takedown.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice. Nice. Let's see the counter here. Oh, no. Oh. And he still hasn't given up the point. Now he does. Once he covers those legs, he gave up the 2. Man, that was a nice shot, boy. He level changed deep in, and Jason really had no choice but to kind of fall to his hip and look in and try to grab a leg to save himself. They're working towards a strong stance to get back on his feet. They're wrestling inside, good pressure. This is good college type style wrestling here. He's got that underhook around the neck, and Jason's battling, getting that backhand behind his hip. They're wrestling right at the line. And Jason's kind of looking like, are you gonna call this out of bounds, or are you gonna go ahead and keep us wrestling? Because time's wasting here. You wrestle on that line, but you'll see Jason make a quick, build his base quick and get up, and then you'll see Reyes kind of like pressure. So man, great job, Soto, getting to his feet. Nice exchange by Damien, and so I'm sure that it sounds to me that these guys have wrestled each other.
Yeah.
Is it more practice, or have they seen each other? And do you remember what?
I think more practice.
Yeah.
I think they were different weights last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with that 3 points, that's big, and now you see Reyes taking bottom, so he gets out for 1. Jason's behind the 8 ball. Trying to cut this gap, and look, beautiful job.
Yeah.
Boy, Reyes gets to on that short sit out the back door, man. He's back on his feet. Wow, it's just cool to see this type of wrestling. And, one of these days, you want to have your whole team wrestling like this.
Yep.
That's the
For
goal.
sure.
But Jason has been a top-notch wrestler for the Bulldogs. He's kind of carried the banner for the state, the state banner for the Bulldog wrestling. We got to, just to this year, we got to build some guys around him. Get Cruz and get Roki and get Salvador and some of those guys up to the state tournament, because Jason's gone.
Yep.
And somebody's got to take over this, the banner for representing at the state tournament.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's nothing more that Jason would like to do is get a crack at a state title and be in the state finals.
Yeah.
Being third twice at state is no easy thing, because that means you got to wrestle extra matches.
Yep.
And that means he's 5-1 2 years in a row. That's 10 wins up at the state tournament.
Yep.
And then taking 5th, well, that means he got into those rounds and lost some matches. But he's letting this match get away from him. Reyes is right now. Both of these guys have spent a lot of time in the off season preparing for this season, and you can kind of see, Reyes is just a little bit ahead of Jason right now, and it could be that he's put more time in. It could be that he's, or just tonight he's just kind of the better wrestler.
Yeah.
Jason has to get on the offense.
Yes.
And kind of, I don't know if Jason is really a 44-pounder. You can kind of see how Reyes looks a little bit bigger than him. He's kind of dominating strength-wise.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see that domination tonight. And there's when you're going 10-1. Oh, okay, that's all right. See, and they're going to put Jason down. They're going to put it, and Jason probably should go down because he hasn't really gotten a takedown. So he wants to he went neutral, and I kind of against that idea, because he hasn't really got in on a good shot yet on Reyes. But if he would have got out to get that one and get some momentum, see, right, he kind of played into Damien's hand, I think, by going on his feet. I think you know, if he could have gotten bottom, got that one, kind of got himself back into this match early, it might have given him that momentum to get a nice takedown. But, you know, Reyes has now put, what, 3 takedowns together and then 1 escape. So,
and
man,
those 3 points play a huge factor in this.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what, we were good on our feet. You know, when we had our state championship teams, and throughout our program, I kind of changed our way of thinking too. Is early on we were kind of counter-offensive wrestlers, and you can't win matches by waiting for the other guy to make a mistake. So you gotta get the tempo up, wrestle strong, kind of like what Reyes is doing tonight. He's real up tempo. He's doing throw-bys. He's going deep on, Jason. He's just doing, he's wrestling his style.
Yeah.
And being that Reyes looks a little bigger, a little stronger, it's just hard for Jason to kind of fight off those deep shots and those little dips and things that Reyes is doing right now. Oh, man, very nice. Oh, wow. Wait, he just kind of like gets in that tie, and then he gets in there and he trips, and he just, he's
a funky,
well, he's moving, like the pressure's all into Jason, you know what I mean?
Yep.
He's not waiting, like stopping and going.
Yep.
He just charge. So, man, I really see Reyes having a good season. I'm not sure where Mesa Ridge is, what they're up to tomorrow and where they're going this weekend, but I think that Coach Melendez has and hey, our first match.
Yeah,
went
went through
6
the
minutes.
distance.
I know. It was quite not what we would hope for. We were hoping that Jason. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna pitch to break now.
Okay, this will be.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the next dual meet between Mesa Ridge and Centennial. Appreciate you taking.
All right, Ari. Good match in its own way tonight. Not quite what we wanted because. Are we on? Okay. It's not kind of way the Bulldogs wanted to start tonight. Both teams were getting pinned. Like you said, we were waiting for that one big match to go the distance. And even at that, being that they were 2 really quality wrestlers, you could still see there was a difference in the 2 styles tonight. But, the Bulldogs ended up losing this one tonight. I think it was 45 to 30, I think, is what the final ended up being. And so we won't be doing a live telecast again until January, Thursday, against Mitchell High School. And actually, I will not be here that evening, so that'll be on you guys, but I'm looking forward to the rest of the season because we have quite a few home duels that we're going to be covering, and we should see a lot of good changes over that time, because they're going to get a lot of wrestling.
The final was 52-30.
Oh, gee, 52-30. Man, I needed to add another 7 points there. Okay, 52-30. So that one kind of got away with from the Bulldogs.
Here are the highlights from that last match.
Oh, wow. And yeah, it's really nice to see a kid like Reyes just in on those deep shots, switching off, driving Soto to the mat, driving him to his hip. And you can see the difference there. I think right now, Soto will work his way down probably to 38s, and I think that'll be his home. He's probably not too far away from that, but to get a quality match like this, against Reyes, this might just tell Jason, hey, if I'm going to see kids like this every weekend, this coming tomorrow night in Florence, or is it Florence?
Yep.
And then again in Fort Lupton, I want to get myself down, and because after Christmas, you get 2 pounds, and so you're wrestling 140s
for sure.
So he's only 3 or 4 pounds away, but Reyes was he was the dominator tonight, and rightfully so. He just kind of went in, he wrestled his style, he was real aggressive, came in on his shots, nice trips, got in under the ties. And even on the ties, he just kind of kept forcing, just kept grinding on him. Man, you just love. Hey, look at that thumbs up, like, hey, I got this, coach. Yeah. Don't worry, buddy. And so he's having a little fun out there, and that's how we got to make this sport. We got to make it fun and have these kids go out there and be proud of what they're capable of doing. And Reyes just went out and did that. So, we're wrapping this thing up, right, Ari?
Yep.
And you had a match tonight. You got to come over here and do a match. And, and so we did a lot of things tonight. It was a positive, and we kind of got what we expected. We expected the 4-foots. We expected pins. Yep. And that's kind of the way it turned out tonight with the 52 to 30 lopsided kind of win that it turned out. But Centennial looks solid. They're going to be okay in the future. Good night to everybody. We'll see you guys in January. Thank you.
This broadcast is copyrighted by Bulldog TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without Bulldog TV's consent is prohibited.